Alrighty, y'all. We are going to be getting into this next series here. You have Mcanning versus TheRiddler. Both these guys, very talented players. Mcanning, the man himself from USA Nation Wars. He's going to be spawning up here in the red. It is Mcanning. And down here in the bottom right, in the blue, representing Fake Avillo and the hopes of men and women everywhere, it is TheRiddler. Or actually, I guess he's not representing them anymore. I guess he already did it, right? He already won the series, the meme series of the century. After this, man, he's got a coast. He's on fumes, man. Doesn't even need to do stuff. Oh, looks like we are going to be starting off with a nice little proxy racks here. Riddler looking to make a statement here in game number 1. And looks like Mcanning not quite going to be able to spot it here with that probe. And Gas coming out as well. Might be looking to do some sort of Reaper play. But this probe is pretty early, so we'll be able to make it across there and know something up pretty soon. But any Reaper that comes out of here is going to be very fast, because he's taking a second Gas as well, so that is probably going to be what he is planning. Down here, Mcanning is going to get in here and start to realize something is up. And this is where it's going to come down to. We're going to have to see what his reaction is here and how he decides to respond to this. Gateway finishing up for him back at home is about the same time as the racks right out on the map. And Zealot already being made here. He knows that something is going on here as the Reaper is on the way. Cybercore only just getting started up here, and this probe sticking around here just trying to make sure that he knows exactly what's going on. Take a look at his vision. He sees the 2 refineries. He sees no gateway, and doesn't quite know where this expansion is, or the proxy is, excuse me, just yet. Sees the factory getting added in at the front here and actually gets blocked off on the wrong side of it. A little bit unlucky for him. There is another SCV down here, so Mcanning might be able to see it. This Reaper is running up in here. Will be able to get inside the main base. Zealot gets off 1 hit, but will not be enough to stop it as it heads into the mineral line here. Going to get off a few hits. Not quite able to kill one just yet. And now he is going to back off. Might be able to get one here. Chases it down and gets it. Mcanning doing a nice job of leading him towards that Stalker that's about to pop out here. And the Stalker does come out. 2 workers going down now as the Stalker is out and able to force this back. More Reapers in production as the factory is finishing up here. And this Reaper not really going to be able to get too much done. It is going to be able to back off with its life. 2 kills there for it. Not too shabby. Second Reaper is out, and this barracks is going to start heading home here. And now we'll have to see what the next play is here from Riddler. Looks like he was just doing that to get a little bit of pressure out on the map. Looks like he's not really committing to anything too all-in here. Starport on the way. Cyclone as well, about to pop out. Ooh, is able to kill the probe that was going to try and build the expansion there and trade for the other Reaper. So a little well played there, able to delay that expansion. Probe going to head in here, getting back home safely as the natural gets started up here for the Riddler up on the high ground. And Reaper just going to kind of maintain up here as the Starport is proxy. Tech Lab finishing up. Going to be some proxy into proxy action. Going to be pretty sick. It is going to be Cloaked Banshees is going to be the play here. And not really too much detection out on the map. None, actually. No observer has been made yet. He does have the option available, though, but looks like he's going to go for an Immortal first here, which might end up costing him, depending on how quickly these Banshees are able to come out. Does cancel that there. And it looks to build it on the low ground. This Reaper going to come up here, sees all the tech going on. No surprises here as he's making tanks on the other side of the map. Going to be able to keep his main safe while this is happening. That Reaper does get cleaned up. And now more gateways being added on here. Shield battery on the way as well. Mortals coming out. And we'll be looking to keep things safe. This Observer is going to be on the way here, and that is going to be key for determining how much damage these Banshees are actually able to do here. Going to see what he's able to do. Banshee over here waiting for his partner to spawn so he can be nice and safe. Mcanning still has no idea that this is happening. Didn't even know that one was up there. So he has no idea that this is even a possibility here. And the Observer is moving out. Second Observer is going to pop, though. And looks like it is actually routed straight towards where this Banshee is. So he could get very lucky here and able to spot it. We'll have to see if he's able to do it. Looks like both Banshees going around on both sides, but Mcanning does spot it. Okay, this is key now. Warping in a Stalker up in the main and sending his other two up. Gonna see how much damage this Banshee is able to do here. Gets one. Will be able to get two. Okay. Might be able to get three here. Does get three, but will trade his life for it. Meanwhile, over here, this other Banshee gonna go ahead and start working on these sentries here. Gets one. Might get two here. Very expensive losses here for this stage in the game. 100 gas each. Takes down two and is now working on an Immortal, taking down a lot of shield, but the shield battery will put an end to that shenanigans. Observer at the front there, keeping an eye on any army that can move out. Stim on the way now for the Riddler as he gets some Bioforce behind this, and is taking his third command center pretty early here. Just going to be using that for extra energy for now. More and more army getting added on here as an Immortal comes out back at home. And Mcanning could go ahead and go kill this. Doesn't look like he quite realizes that it was proxy just yet, as his Banshee stays alive up here. And it looks like he's supply boxed a little bit as he builds a robotics bay. And meanwhile, the tech of choice is still just going to be factory. Not even really getting any medevacs just yet. No second starport just yet. And yeah, so right now he's just going to wait. Just going to hang on for a bit here, and look like he's going to rely mostly on these tanks as he makes his way across the map. Sorry for the quality issues, guys. I'm only an affiliate and don't really actually have I don't have control over that. I apologize. And so now the Stalkers force that Banshee back as these tanks and Marines make their way across the map. That one Zealot there, key in spotting that. And now they're going to make their way across. Now, more tanks the tanks are sieging up here, forcing that army back. These Immortals aren't going to be very good in trading against this army. More and more firing off here. Going to make his way in. Tanks going to siege up here, set up the battle lines. Immortals pushing forward here. Going to try and get on top of those tanks, but the tanks getting very good shots off, and one Immortal goes down for nothing there. Good play there from Riddle. Gets that one Immortal for free. More on the way now, and he's getting some disruptors, is Mcanning. And he's going to be looking to make this hold here right outside of his natural. Going to see what he is able to do. Banshee moving in here. The Observer does spot this, and the army's going to move back here. Riddler might be able to use this to its advantage to be able to secure more positioning down here closer to the ramp. And we will see what goes on. Firing and going to take out that assimilator eventually. A little bit annoying there. As the rest of this army moves forward here. Catches the Disruptor, actually. A huge misrally here. That is really not good. You really need those. It's not great here for Mcanning. That does go down. Work is going down up here at the top side. Another Banshee did fly in there. Apologize for missing that. And now the Riddler continuing to pump out units here. Is 58 army supply to 47 here. And more Widow Mines getting added on. Second Disruptor is out now. This one is rallied correctly. And now it looks like Mcanning is going to go for the push here. Going to try and Disruptor on top of these tanks. Tanks are not sieged up. And the Disruptor ball comes out and does not quite connect. And more reinforcements here for the Riddler are making its way across. Now they are reinforced by these Widow Mines and a little bit more bio here. And going to be looking to gain some ground with these Widow Mines. Mcanning did see where the second one burrowed. Might look to... Ooh, good hit there, actually. Ooh, and 3 Marauders going down there. Very good hit for both sides. The Disruptor a little bit far up, not having a charge available. Oh, and now here come the Adept Shades. Might look to commit here. Not going to. Just applying a little bit of pressure. And now the Cloaked Banshee applying lots of vision here. That Observer must have gotten picked off at some point. And so now Mcanning trapped inside here. Shades go out. Going to try and apply a little bit of pressure. Force him back a little bit here. Don't think he's actually going to commit to it, though. Oh, and he does, actually. And the Riddler didn't really respect that. He lets the tanks kind of on their own there. And now the Disruptor shots go out. Kill quite a bit of bio. Now this bio is pushing forward and trading very well. The Immortal's not quite able to get any shots off there. Kills those 2 at the top. No medevacs here. It means this push is over. Now finally starting some medevac reduction. Has 2 out on the map back at home. But this push across the map, left unreinforced, is going to have to back off. And this Zealot just blocking the landing of that. A little bit annoying. As far as upgrades go, got nothing really in the horizon for either of these guys. Double Engineering Bay on the way for our Blue Terran. Meanwhile, this army up here gets completely crushed out. Gets caught by that army, and they are going to go ahead and reinforce this proxy starport. Third base on the way for both these guys. Already established here for Riddler once he decides to land it. There he goes. Forge on the way. And now they're going to continue to reinforce each other here, and Riddler is about to make a play up onto the top of the map. He might actually be able to pick off the cybernetics score. That could be really annoying here for Mcanning. Getting lots of shots off, and it is going to go down here for free. Very, very nice there for him. I'm going to have to be forced to rebuild that there for Mcanning. Not what you want. No stalkers, no adepts, no sentries. No more of those for right now until that gets rebuilt. So he's going to be forced on warping in just Zealots here as this Bioforce trades in the top, and then these Disruptors going to get caught out here. Oh, gets a pretty decent shot there. Oh, it does hit the tank, but not quite enough to kill it there. Meanwhile, back here in the main, that does get cleaned up by the Immortals, but the Banshee's doing a lot of work up here, and this army is staying safe. And now down here, these Disruptors going to be taking more shots at him. Not quite able to connect just yet. Disruptors doing a very nice job of keeping this army at bay here. Mcanning looking to stabilize. Worker count even. Now he just needs to ramp up production on the army, and he should be able to catch up here pretty quickly. Lots of army back here at home for the Riddler. Not quite moving them across the map just yet. Over here, these Medivacs and Marines making their way back. And, you know, from here, the options are pretty limited here for Mcanning. He's going to have pushing across is very dangerous, especially with this proxy in place, because the army of the Riddler is so much more mobile, especially with how many Medivacs he has. He's able to make drops everywhere. He does have that recall available if he wants to push. Meanwhile, the Zealot going to start tickling that. But other than the recall, not really too many options available to him. As he does push across, Riddler is going to start pushing across to the third base and the main at about the same time here. Does get completely spotted out by the Zealot though, so Mcanning knows what's up. He immediately moves his army across. You see that on the minimap. Drops, not quite dropping on top of that Disruptor. He could pick that off right now. Disruptor gets a very nice shot off there. And now the rest of Mcanning's army is here, but meanwhile down to the third base, these Marines and Marauders and Widowmines making their way up here, and now they're on top of the mineral line here in the main base, and these Stalkers and Disruptors are not going to be quite enough. Disruptors are nowhere to be seen, actually. They're going to go hold down. They actually killed a lot of bio up there. Wow! 11 workers way down here, and might get a huge hit there. It does! Wow, very nice Disruptor hits here for Mcanning, and the Riddler gets pushed back here. But meanwhile, at this third base, he's still going, forcing the workers to fight, actually baiting them into the Widowmines. That's pretty cute. Widowmines deciding not to fire on their own men. This bio kind of tickling these Disruptors here. Widowmine's getting pretty decent shots off here into the mineral line. Not quite firing. There it goes. And now army supply 43 to 78 here. The bio forces trying to regroup here. Doesn't quite have the critical mass he needs, and doesn't quite have the splits that he's been needing in order to stay alive against this force. 22 workers down for Mcanning, 37 to 52. Good God. 2 more gateways getting added on as well. And Mcanning has a very nice disruptor count here. Has 6. Liberators are going to be the choice here for the Riddler to try and deal with some of those. Dark Templars now. No missile turrets in the mineral lines here. Going to mean that these are going to do quite a bit of damage. Already getting 2 or 3. And counting 4 now, 5, as one of the main arrives as well. Disruptors here are going to be key in destroying that army, getting beautiful hits, just annihilating this Bioforce. Doesn't quite have enough Stalkers to blink into that, but he's getting so much damage done, and he's continuing to kill workers across the map here. No detection. This proxy finally getting taken care of. This army here completely undefended on the ground. The Blink Stalkers just move up uncontested and are killing all of those. Not enough Marauders here. And meanwhile, back at home, 21 workers dying here for Riddler. Now finally has a little bit of bio here, kills 1 Disruptor, but trades all of those bio for it. 2-2 on the way for him as he moves his army back to try and finally deal with these, but he's lost 22 workers already and will only be losing more as this continues. Excuse me. Has this command center at the front here. This Dark Templar here working on the reactor. He scans it and will kill it. There we go. Finally safe from that one, but this one over here, this is a fresh one. It has 3 kills. Man, he's killed so many workers. Mcanning went from being about 15 workers down to now he's done over 15 workers up. And the bio forces are continuing to build up here. And now Mcanning on the offensive, making his way across the map here. He knows that he's in a good spot. He knows that the Riddler has not been showing that he's able to do the splits that he needs. And so now Stalker's moving up. This drop does get through, not quite undetected. That observer did spot it, so Mcanning knows that it's coming, but he decides that he's already here. He's going to go ahead and push through into this base. This third base is completely undefended here. Not enough army in general for the Riddler to go ahead and defend this. Workers going down, lost mining time, and now boosting up into the main base here. He's trying to drop, and he's unloading right on top of the Disruptor, actually. That's what he needs. He's going to be able to take that out, but this entire third base is dying for him. Training very well up here, not quite enough units to defend that, as the main army of Mcanning is pushing across here. They've done a complete base swap here. The army of Riddler is in Mcanning's base, and vice versa. And now he's doing all he can here to take out as many as possible. Disruptor's getting beautiful shots off against the bio left here to defend. GG, Mcanning takes game number 1 of this best of 3. Very, very well played there by Mcanning. Very nice crisis management, doing a great job of utilizing those disruptors to destroy this bioforce. Very, very well done by him. And now we will be heading into game number 2 here in just a second. Gonna have to see if Riddler is able to utilize his multi-pronged attacks that he's so talented at. And he's just going to have to be able to utilize those and really just seal the deal. If his splits were a bit better, if he had a little bit more... just a little bit more better reactions to those disruptors, a little bit like more liberators, or just not losing 30 units to one disruptor, then he might have been in a very good spot that game. He was up, and he was up on supply, up in workers, and then those Dark Templars, were able to get so many workers killed, and just really well played there. And now we're going to be heading into game number 2 here of Mcanning versus the Riddler. Alrighty, up here in the top right, in the red, representing all of America, it is Mcanning. And down here in the bottom left, I get that confused every time. In the blue, representing Fayetteville, it is the Riddler. Alright, so nothing too much going on for the start of this. No proxies this time. Looking like he's just going to keep things nice and solid. Probe making his way across here, just going to go ahead and scout. Meanwhile here, for the Riddler, not quite scouting just yet, a little bit later on that, historically. Probe going to do some nice work here against that SCV, just being annoying. The second SCV going to come in here and reinforce him. Ooh, now they're roughing him up, 2-on-1, that's not even fair. But he escapes with his life. Gonna go ahead and get the full scout off there. Gets the spray down. Well played. And now gonna come over here and be a little bit more annoying on the other side. And meanwhile, both these guys just getting their expansions. Orbital command on the way. Hiding. Oh, it actually recalls him. That's pretty cute. Keeps him alive. And now this SCV going to finally get up here and start getting the scout off. Cybercore getting placed. And yeah, these guys, both not really feeling too much pressure to do anything too cheeky here. Riddler, I think he knows that he needs to not lose entire bio armies to a few disruptor shots. Other than that, in that game, he was playing very well. Mcanning was just, getting these slight edges here and there. Very slight better engagements, very slight edges over his opponent. Now, this Mcanning just going to make sure there's no proxy this time. This probe, this SCV looks like he is trying to hide something way down here. Maybe another proxy starport as this factory finishes up. We'll have to see what he decides to build down there. But Mcanning hot on his heels here. Might not actually see it. Okay, he did see the probe. I don't know if he actually realized that he saw the SCV or not. So that's going to be the key there. He saw the SCV sitting down there, so if anything's built down here, then he knew. And robo facility on the way here, as the starport is about halfway. And this probe here, treading on the edge of death. Up here on the other side, Stalker's taking out these pesky little rocks as he adds on another gate. Nothing too crazy going on. Observer on the way here, going to keep him safe against any Widow Mines. As he builds a fusion core down here in the bottom right. It's going to be pretty excellent. You know, we all know what this means, guys. We talked about it in the Avillo versus TheRiddler game. Those who have the battlecruiser will win the game. And currently, Riddler is on track. Getting his Raven out now as a Robo Bay is getting built here for Mcanning. Gonna go ahead and get that Liberator range. I know the name of that now. And yeah, you know, Mcanning is in a pretty good spot to defend it. Doesn't have a forge or anything just yet, though, so not able to build any cannons behind his mineral line. Up it one more notch. All right, there we go. One more notch for you. One singular notch. 3 minutes after you asked. Now, observers up here, keeping him safe from any Liberators coming in. Starting Colossi production now, and getting those thermal lances. More Liberators going to be on the way. Unfortunately, it looks like Riddler not going for battlecruisers, instead just getting, you know, some Liberator upgrades, which is fine. You know, that's acceptable, I suppose. As disappointing as it is to see. But, you know, gonna go ahead and start making his way across the map here. Will get spotted by this Observer if he's not careful. This Widow Mine over here, not quite spotted by the Zealot. Might have gotten spotted by that hallucinated Phoenix. Gonna go ahead and get a full scout off, sees something researching there. Not sure. He's not sure yet if it could be Banshee Cloak, and it actually does cancel it right there in front of him. Or finish, actually. Yeah, that's where I'm at. And Stargate now getting put down here. It's gonna try and get some Phoenix to probably deal with these Liberators. With Liberator range, just not able to actually hit them. More CCs getting added on here. Just go ahead and being able to secure that third base right about the same time Mcanning is. Tanks on the way now as he moves to secure the third base location. Might be making his way across the map here. And Colossi count currently. He looks like he did get 2 probes there. 3 probes there. A little bit suicidal there. Oh, there's 4. I love watching. You see Mcanning catch it, and then it's just not quite fast enough. Void Ray on the way to deal with that. 2 Colossi out right now. Third was on the way. Looks like he switched it for a Disruptor. Mcanning's army all right here. This third base looking very vulnerable right now. And this Liberator going to move in around the backside here. Probably draw some attention away from this attack. And now the Marine Marauder moving in here. Going to start focusing down this tank. Going to try and pulse it up. And now the tank's going to start getting some free shots off there. The Colossi do not quite outrange that. And now Bio continuing to move forward here. The tanks have moved their battle lines up a bit. No blink or anything of the sort here for our American hero. And he will go ahead and lose this Nexus here to this Bio Force. And now Liberator up here, also denying mining up here. The Void Ray not quite in position to kill that just yet. Looks like it's on the way. And now Disruptor shots going across, not quite able to land. The Nexus does fall. And now Mcanning could flank this here and get right on top of him, electing not to just yet, keeping that Liberator alive. Over to stem this army a little bit here. Might be able to get some very good shots off. Disruptor does connect, and now the tanks are on the run. going to be forced back here, but he got what he needed to do. He stalled at third base. Didn't quite secure his own third just yet, though. And at this point, it's a little bit too dangerous to do. So he is going to wait on that. Colossi and Disruptor here, chasing away these tanks. No Warp Prism to really reinforce this, so no, not too much aggression can come out from Mcanning here. He is just going to sit back at home and establish this third. Now down here, more shots coming off. This Adept will die. As now, Mcanning going to go ahead and regroup. And he is in position to go ahead and receive this army here. Actually, this army is not sieged. If he can catch this right now and get some great Disruptor shots off, this army is very clumped. And now here it comes. Disruptor shot comes off. Oh, we're going to get killed right beforehand. Great Raven usage there. Very well done. Force Fields have to come across here to keep this army alive. The Colossi are getting chased down by the Stim Bio here. Stimming forward, trying to get the kill on it, but not quite. Only able to take it down to just half health. And now the tanks are sieged up. And these Colossi looking mighty vulnerable here. Not too much on the ground going on here. +1 weapons almost done for this Bio Force. And now they're going to have to go ahead and fight it out. The Disruptor shot gets a very nice connection there onto the tanks, but this Colossi here is not able to fight, and the Disruptors don't have any shots available. More Warpins coming in, but the tanks are trading very well right now, killing a lot of Stalkers here. Taking a look at the losses, it's about even. 400 more resources lost here for the Riddler, and Mcanning is down in supply now. 61 army supply to 49, and also down 11 workers here, mostly due to that third base getting canceled for him just a bit earlier. This drop up here, completely spotted out. It's going to go ahead and back off. And now Disruptor's going to push up here and just going to go ahead and deal with that tank. Nice and easy. Zealot over here, just keeping some vision. This drop is going to go ahead and secure the watchtower up at the top. And now this drop has one Marauder in it, so probably not going to do too much. Or it'll just sit there too. I mean, you know, all the stuff. Looks like he's just gonna drop that Marauder up there. You know, leave him. Must have talked bad about Avila or something. That's like a little timeout corner. Oh, looks like he's gonna come rescue him. Rescue him and take him under his wing. Take him into that main drop. All right, now down here. The main forces are going to be coming in for an engagement, going to be pushing up right about the same time that drop is going to be forced away up here. One Colossi and a few Zealots going to be more than enough to deal with that. And now the Disruptor's coming across here. Oh, huge hit! Taking out so much of that Bio, but there's still so much here. The army of Mcanning is split. Some of that is still defending the main base here. It's going to be pretty close if this is enough. Warping in a few more Adepts here, and it will now be enough. The tank's going to go down here, and it's now a matter of how much he's going to lose here for the Riddler. Forced back, and the drop in the main also forced back this Void Ray MVP with 4 kills right now. Colossi over here with 13, making it look easy. And these 3 Marauders running for their life. And meanwhile, down here, more and more army getting loaded up here. Looking like he's going to be making his way across the map inside of these. Loads up there as Mcanning is moving across the map. Might get caught here. The Riddler does know what's going on here. Looks like he might be just going for a full base trade here. Making his way all the way across now as Mcanning making his way up, killing these Marauders. He sees they're rallying somewhere. He should realize something's going on. The Dark Templar do spot it as well. He's making his army way across the map right now. Going to try and defend this, but the Doom Drop will arrive in this main base very quickly here. And he does recall, actually. So this could be very bad here for the Riddler. It's all going to be about these Disruptor shots. They're going to come in, and this army is also clumped. Nice pickups there. Saves them from certain death. The Liberators here doing a lot of work. But the tanks are down, and now the Blinkstalkers moving forward here actually getting shredded pretty hard by these Liberators. Do eventually clean them up. The Bio dies as well. And now these Medivacs heading home without their full load of people, as they have all been killed horribly. Meanwhile, over here, this Zealot holding his ground. 4th base getting taken now for Mcanning, nice and safe. He is now still 30 supply down in army. But his army trades so well against Bio that he's effectively even here. As long as these Stalkers don't die, the Riddler is just going to be trying to poke down this army and then force an engage once these Disruptors have no Stalkers there to tank for it, and there's only 1 Colossi left. So that's the really only consistent source of splash damage here. And actually a very aggressive blink there. Disruptor's doing a nice job of letting them get out. And now the Liberators forced back here, setting up right here on the high ground. Force a blink defensively there. So no decisive engagement just yet. Meanwhile, over here, getting some command centers and continuing to establish himself in this game. Continuing to be 44 supply up right now, even on workers though. And meanwhile, for Mcanning, getting a fleet beacon, and another Stargate here. So probably either Tempest or Carriers. Looks like it's going to be Tempest to deal with these Liberators. It's going to be very strong. Ooh, okay. That's cute. And now 2 medevac drop heading down here towards the bottom side. Going to be able to get up there in that third base. Going to force this army to back off here a little bit to deal with that. And here in just a second, that Liberator barely lives with his life. Now here comes the drop into the third base here. Or actually heading straight up into the natural instead. Might be looking to take out some production facilities. Here comes the warp in, and the army of Mcanning backs off a little bit here as the drop continues. 4 workers going down already, and the warp in is not going to quite be enough here. And there's still more units loaded up in here. The Tempest is now turning his attention onto this drop, going to deal with it. But meanwhile, on the front lines here, lots of disruptors getting killed there, actually. Almost all of them. Oh my goodness. This is a disaster here for Mcanning. His army supply is dropping. Not sure where the rest of those disruptors went. Looks like they have all been killed. And so now it's just Stalkers here. He only has he's remaking some disruptors right now. He has a Tempest coming out. 15 workers have been killed, and they're still going nuts up here, killing even more. This is not a great position here for Mcanning. He's going to be forced back off here. The concussion cells keeping this Adept locked in. He has now completely flanked this army, though. This tank is going to be down, and so the Liberator is going down immediately here. Tempest doing all it can. This Colossi is doing a lot of work here against these Marauders, and the army is not quite all together here for the Riddler, and it will get cleaned up here. His army supply is dropping 68 to 84 now. And more bio getting produced here. Still no Warp Prism. So aggression will be a little difficult here for Mcanning. But he has the superior army. He's going to start moving across. Lots more Liberators here, though, and not quite... oh, no, losing a lot of Stalkers there. Army supply dropping even more now. Trying to get a cute little Disruptor hit, but not quite able to land it. No more Tempests in production. One more making its way across the map. Might be a little misrallied there. Hopefully Mcanning catches that. Ghost Academy on the way. Going to be looking for some nukes, possibly. EMP going to be very good against this clumped up army of Mcanning here. And over here, the Dark Templar. Just kind of keeping an eye on things, seeing what's what. These Blink Stalkers going to be trying to catch the Liberators and make their way across the map. Riddler learning from his mistakes in game number 1, where he did not have the Vikings required to deal with such a large Colossi count. Except for this game, it's going to be Tempest that he's dealing with. Now, down here, main force for the Riddler here, making his way up. Liberators doing a very nice job so far in this game of keeping the Stalkers at bay. Tempests, of course, do a very nice job. Oh, and picking off quite a few of them, actually. 2, maybe 3 here, all for free. That is not what you need for the Riddler. And now he is down in army supply for the first time in this game as a Adept suicides over there. Now the Shades coming across, and the Stalkers moving forward here, going to keep applying pressure. Ghosts are now in production. They will be coming out here shortly. Oh, no high ground vision there, actually. This little tank was not able to get as many free shots off as it could have. Now the Liberators have all set up, but this ground army is getting shredded. And there are so many Stalkers here. All the Liberators are going to die. The tank is going to die. Now it's just Vikings and a couple of Marauders here. 55 army supply to 36. Nothing in reduction here from Mcanning, but he doesn't even need to. He's making 3 Stalkers right now. And he is going to have free reign over this fourth base over here. This Bioforce not quite enough, trying to kill that Colossi, and is not able to do it. Stalker is pushing forward here. This army is getting shredded. 37 army supply to 39. GG. Mcanning is going to take game number 2 pretty convincingly.